Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're talking about a game called Horror Tycoon, the game where your goal is to build a haunted house so scary you scare your guests to death. As someone who loves Tycoon games and loves all things horror, I absolutely could not wait to check this game out. What a unique and fun, darkly twisted concept for a game. Horror Tycoon is developed by solo developer Smidge Games. While I did encounter my fair share of issues and bugs in this demo, I'm far more forgiving given the fact it's a solo developer. And I will tell you guys, I had an absolute blast playing this demo. Despite all the problems I'm currently seeing, this game seems to have a really solid foundation with a really unique concept, and I'm so excited to see where this goes. So let's get into it. I'm going to quickly go over how the gameplay works, and then I'm going to tell you all the things that I freaking love about this game and all the things that I really hope to see a change in by the time of official release. Currently, there's no word on the official release date for this game. However, this free demo is available on Steam for anybody to check out. The story goes that your father has made a deal with the devil, and upon his death, it's now your job to collect souls. And if you don't, you'll burn in hell for all of eternity. Once you've signed your bloodline agreement and made your deal with the devil, it's time to get started. You're given a large sum of money when you start the game and tasked with building the scariest haunted house that you can think of. You'll have access to construction items, which would be walls, windows, flooring, and more. And what would a haunted house be without scare traps to scare the crap out of your guests? And of course, decor items to decorate your haunted house and further add to the terror. There's also a tab for prefabricated rooms, but I was pretty disappointed to find that all there was a debris barrier that isn't a room at all, but kind of just a decor item. Hoping there are actual prefabricated rooms upon official release. And then you of course have your lighting and effects, which I really enjoyed messing around with. Building my haunted house actually went pretty smooth, though some of the controls can be a little wonky and I found myself kind of fighting it at times. It could be a hassle trying to get the camera to go where I wanted or at the angle that I wanted. When you're placing your items, keep in mind that each item will correspond to a different type of fear. You'll have to make sure that your build has variety in order to be prepared for the different types of guests. And you can make sure that you set the right mood with different lighting and effects. You can adjust the color and intensity of each light however you see fit. And at any point, the game allows you to view your creation as a guest would. Not only is this really useful for checking your build and making sure that things are working the way you envision them, it's just a really freaking cool feature. I am really impressed with the attention to detail here, especially given this is a solo developer. As someone who really does not consider themselves a good builder at all, and also someone with zero knowledge of the inner workings of haunted houses in terms of how they're built, I was pretty intimidated at first and didn't know if I was going to be able to create something that I would actually be happy with. But the more I added, the more and more I started to really like what was coming together. But one of my biggest annoyances while building is the fact that there is no undo button. Why is there no undo button? Sometimes I would grab an item that I didn't mean to that was already placed, and I couldn't just undo and put it back where it was. That's just one example of many reasons you could need an undo button. I don't understand why it's not here, and I really hope that there is one in the future. That said, I otherwise really enjoyed the build mode here. It really allows you to get creative and get detailed about your build. You can control the size and rotation of each item individually to really get that perfect placement. And then of course, as a photographer, my favorite part, messing with the lighting. Lighting really helps to set the mood that you're going for, and is absolutely such an awesome detail to be included here. As I said, you can adjust the intensity and color on a color wheel the game gives you, and then seamlessly pop in as a guest to check and see how your lighting is affecting your scene. You can really get creative with this, and it is a ton of fun. I did encounter some unpleasant bugs though. I was really looking forward to making this bloody bathroom room for the haunted house. Naturally, I wanted to put in some tile on the floor. Unfortunately, it was a glitchy, buggy mess the whole time. And I can remove it, sure, but I would only be refunded half of what I originally paid for it. And that's something that really frustrated me given the amount of times that I had to remove something because things weren't functioning as I had expected them to, possibly even how they were intended to. More on that in just a minute. Once I've gotten my build to a place that I'm really happy with, it's time to add some finishing touches and then we're ready to open for our guests. But here's where I'm going to talk about my main issue with the game. A mechanic I almost need to see added before official release if I'm going to play, or at least improved upon. The problem being that there is no way to see which route your guests are going to take before your guests arrive. As many times as I walked my build as a guest, I never accounted for any of the issues that were about to arise when they got here. As my guests arrive, before I can even click on them to get some more information about the types of phobias they have, the game notifies me that my guests are unable to reach the exit. Okay, no problem, we might just need to move some stuff around, no big deal. The arrows at least clearly show you where the guests are going, and I figured it'd be a pretty easy fix. Until I discovered that once the guests are here, you can't actually move anything. The game will allow you to delete an item, which again, you only get half of your money back, but you can't move anything. I can even purchase and put down new items, but I can't edit my existing items that are already there. This has to be a bug. I can't imagine that that's functioning properly. After trying a bunch of different things, I could not figure out how to get these guests out, so I ended up deleting a wall, letting them go, and then trying to rebuild this entire area in hopes that the route would be fixed when I was done. But again, there needs to be a way to check the route before the guests get there, or have things be fully editable while they are there so you can fix the issue. I really didn't know why the route wasn't working, so I tried some things and then waited for my next set of guests to get there so I could see if it was gonna work. I crossed my fingers and then discovered the route was even shorter than it was the last time. I deleted a piece of furniture in hopes that maybe that would help, even though that had no effect the first time, and that seemed to do it. The guests were able to complete the rest of my haunted house. Well, at least the ones that I didn't scare to death. I was just glad to see the rest of my build worked, despite them having skipped the kitchen part completely. And we succeeded in our ultimate goal of collecting souls and bones and teeth for our upgrades. Now we can purchase new, even scarier upgrades for our haunted house. And not only can we buy new and improved traps, but we can also choose to upgrade the existing traps that we already have, making them even scarier and even deadlier. We'll have to watch out, because if our terror reputation gets too high, and if too many guests are dying here, the police could catch on and open up an investigation into your business. And that's not exactly great news given the business that we're in. Despite this game being a little rough around the edges, I think it has huge potential. The concept is super unique, different, and fun, and it really seems to have a solid foundation here. The bugs and the flaws that I pointed out in this video are things that could be easily fixed. The developer really seems to care about feedback and has released patches already just for the demo. I, for one, absolutely cannot wait for this game's release. I'll definitely be keeping an eye out, and if you guys are interested, let me know and I'll be sure to update you as soon as we know a release date. I'm pretty confident we're going to see a bunch of bug fixes between now and then. For now, I'm definitely putting this game on my wish list and will be anxiously awaiting its early access release. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you're as excited about Horror Tycoon as I am. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more like this one.